Good morning, everyone. I'd like to thank you to the career transition and the GI Bill presentation we're going to give today. It's almost 10 o'clock, so we're going to get started in a moment. Today is February 22nd, 2022, and the time is 10 a.m. And we are presenting this career transition and the GI Bill presentation. We're going to have a great list of presenters today. We're going to have the local interagency network coordinator, Annette. We're going to have Michael going over some stuff about the GI Bill and some of the benefits that are out there. And we're going to have Mr. Zeffirino with the Veterans Readiness and Employment Agency. So I'd like to start off by just making sure that we all understand that this meeting is being recorded and your consent is required. Participating in the meeting will act as your acknowledgement for the recording. Your cameras and microphones are going to be shut off during this presentation, so that way we can kind of focus on having the good bandwidth. And any questions that you may have, we ask that you drive those towards the question and answer tab. And remember that this is a public forum, so we ask that you exercise respectful inquiries. There's going to be a really good question and answer session at the end of the presentation as well. The chat box has kind of been disabled for you guys, so that way we can just use that to share resources, and my counterpart's going to be dropping information into the chat during the presentation, and that's going to be helpful for everyone. Also, when we're talking about some email addresses that are out there, we're going to ask that you use a non-DoD email address when we're talking about any types of the benefits and services that are out there that we want to make sure that we advise you that you're aware of. What is CalTAP? General overview. My name is Sean Campbell, and I'm one of the training coordinators that works with the California Transition Assistance Program. And our role is to just really make sure that you understand the benefits that are out there for you and connect veterans from all eras with their earned federal and state benefits, as well as provide that continued support and assistance as your needs change over time through 5 different pathways: the core curriculum, education, employment, entrepreneurship, and of course, we talk about the wide variety of service providers that are out there for you. This right here is a copy of the Veterans Resource Book. It was emailed to you with the a link for it was emailed to you with the original email that went out with this, and then my counterpart's going to drop a copy of the link in the chat. This is an excellent tool for education, enlightenment, and just empowerment to let you know about the different resources and benefits that are out there for you as a veteran in the state of California, as well as for your family members and other active duty service members. This is our website, and this gives you 24/7 access to a variety of information regarding the services and benefits that are out there. And if you see the highlighted area where it says CalTAP on the lower right-hand side, that will drive you to our CalTAP portal. This will give you the access to the 5 different pathways I was mentioning earlier. And it's really cool because it does give you that 24/7 access, and they're self-paced learning modules, so you can pick and choose the times and dates to work through them that work best for you. And the videos that are linked in there have great information, and they're very well written. How can I use CalTAP online? Again, you want to decide which pathway you want to work with: employment, education. Core curriculum is a great place to start as far as pathways, and it's just going to help you drive yourself towards the information that is most prevalent to you for the moment, because we recognize it needs change over time. As you can see in this example, the California benefits has been highlighted, and that is some of what we're going to talk about today. But services, benefits, just different resources, and there's PDFs, training materials, just designed to guide you, especially when we're talking about California benefits. So that question always comes up: what are my California benefits? And the state of California has a lot of different resources that are out there. One of the excellent things that California offers is what they call links, which are local interagency network coordinators. And these are people that are, their whole role is to walk you through the process of getting services and getting the assistance that you may need from time to time. And also there's a wide variety of county veteran service offices. The state of California has got 58 counties, so there's a lot of service offices out there to assist you. I think there's a total of 56 altogether. A couple of the counties share the veteran service offices, but these are people that are there to help navigate you through the different benefits and challenges that may arise to help you out. One of the most common questions that we get is about the college tuition fee waiver. And this is for the dependents of veterans with service disability ratings of 0% or higher. It's just designed to waive those tuitions and fees at any state funded school from working on your very first day, working on a 2-year degree, all the way up to your doctorate. It's estimated that this program alone saves California veterans about $35 million a year. So there's a lot of great benefits from that program alone. The DMV has a wide variety of programs as well. They have a veterans driver's license, which allows you to just having that designation on your driver's license, it will unlock certain employment, housing, and education benefits that and it's different from having a DD-214. A DD-214 is more of federal and state, and this is going to be more of local and private enterprise. So that way they understand that you're not having to carry that document, that DD-214 with you everywhere you go. Honoring veteran license plates, there's a wide variety of iconography that's out there to celebrate and honor all the hard work that you've done. You don't have to be a veteran to get an honoring veteran license plates. I want to say that there's a wide list of different ones that are out there, and my teammate's going to drop a list of those in the chat box. And then motor vehicle registration fee waiver. If you are a service disabled veteran, you have you can apply for eligibility for a motor vehicle registration fee waiver. It is specific to the DMV, so you want to make sure that you look at the website that my counterpart dropped in the chat for further details on that. There's a lot of great outdoor activities in the state of California. One of the things that a lot of people look forward to is fishing and hunting, and those fishing and hunting licenses have reduced annual fees for disabled veterans. Also, a state parks pass is out there, and the Distinguished Veterans Pass is something that the state park systems operates. So camping, day use, just different programs out there to help reduce the costs so you can enjoy a lot of those activities. Tax programs, disabled veteran property tax exemption. Because there are 58 counties in California, we really ask that you speak with your county assessor to find out more about the different property tax exemptions, business license, and tax exemptions. I know that a friend of mine owns a business in the county of Sacramento, and because he was a veteran, they waived his license fees for his business. And every county is different, so you want to make sure that you talk to the county assessor's office. CalVet Home Loans, this is a program that's separate from VA home loans, and what it's designed to do is provide competitive market interest rates. And you can actually use a CalVet home loan and a VA home loan together to really maximize your purchasing power, because these are loans that are issued from the state of California, whereas a VA loan is issued from a private lender but has that federal guarantee. You can use both of them at the same time, and this is just another benefit that California offers for you. My teammate's going to drop some information into the chat regarding the CalVet home loans and who to contact directly if you got some more questions on that. California women veterans, there's 163,000 female veterans in the state of California, and this division of Veterans Affairs provides information, advocacy, outreach, and just a lot of support in general to female veterans. And if you're interested in this, there's a great roster that you can sign up for, and you can see it's highlighted here with the yellow circle. The Department of Veterans Affairs also operates a minority veterans division, and the minority veterans division works with identifying gaps and increasing accessibility to all the minority veterans. If you are looking for more information on that, you can see here their link is highlighted. And if you're on the CalVet website, you can drive directly towards these web portals and get more information on these areas as well. Just a couple of great divisions that are operated within the Department of Veterans Affairs to help people. Long-term care, when you're looking for the long-term care, medical, dental, pharmacy, rehabilitation, as we enter those aspects of our lives of aging and retirement, there are 8 homes that are actually operated by the state of California in these 8 various locations that are listed below here on the screen. And the advantage of this is that it really is income-based. They're skilled nursing facilities, and they're nationally recognized for their level of healthcare. So they're great places. The federal government operates 9 cemeteries in the state of California, but the state also has 3 cemeteries that are focused for the needs of veterans. The one in Yountville specifically is just for residents of Yountville, but they are building another facility right outside of in Southern California right now. They're building another facility. Some common veteran websites that come up and things that you can look for. VA.gov, this provides 24/7 access for veterans, really focusing on 4 missions: healthcare, benefits, national cemeteries, and of course, improving our nation's readiness. You can do a lot with this website as far as accessing the different benefits that you've earned. E-benefits, this is a joint website from the VA and the Department of Defense. And this web portal allows you to manage your military benefits, view claims, transfer entitlements, update direct deposit services. And this is for veterans, family members, care providers. Some of these services are being transferred over to va.gov. So you may notice that if you're using this website, that it drives you over to va.gov. MyHealthyVet, this is a website that is a health improvement tool with a vast database of medical knowledge. You can track your appointments, send messages back and forth to your healthcare provider. You can look up a wide variety of information, and your health records are going to be available for you as well on MyHealthyVet. As I mentioned before, we find it very helpful if you give us a non-DoD email address, because we want to make sure that we can be there to assist you throughout your experience as a veteran. We're going to send you out a survey today. We do ask that you take a moment and fill out that survey and register for MyCalvet on our homepage. Add us to Facebook, give us that like, and there's a great group of webinars that are coming up, and we're going to give a list of those at the end of the webinar today. So attend some of those webinars. If you go to our website, you can see the ability to log in and register for that Calvet. And by registering, what it does is it's really going to help you see that it's going to help us engineer the benefits that work best for you. And it'll give you access to our monthly newsletter. And this monthly newsletter, the themes change each month, and it's just chock full of great information that will help you empower yourself with a lot of knowledge that's out there. For example, the month of March, we're having a lot of webinars on mental health and mental health services that are out there, and just different challenges that service members, veterans, and their families run into. So a lot of great information. Here's my contact information. If you have any further questions on what we've gone over, I'm happy to answer them for you. And at the end of the presentation, we're going to have a great opportunity to get some more questions and answers. And I'd like to hand the presentation over to our local interagency network coordinator, Annette. Hello, Annette.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. Yes, I'm the local interagency network coordinator, and that's quite a mouthful. Basically, what I am is I'm a field rep, one of the 8 field reps for the state of California, and we work with federal and state agencies to ensure that veterans get connected to their benefits. Next slide, please. So you can see that Calvet has divided the state into 8 regions. Each color is a region with a coordinating link. I'm the one in the Central Valley. I'm on the 99 all the time, it seems like, when I'm traveling. In fact, I'm going to Lemoore Naval Air Station later today to do a presentation for them. So we work as a team with the state and federal agencies, but within our own communities, we want to build up a network of local partners that we can assist veterans with additional or augmented services, as I say. Next slide, please. So we work with all current and prior military service members, reaching out to active duty members before they're separated so that they're aware of their benefits, as well as community colleges, which in many cases could be recently separated veterans. And then by building that network of partnership within our community, we can make referrals with established service provider networks. We assist with local emergencies. We've been very helpful when it came to veterans who were evacuees of the wildfires that we've had here in California. In fact, last year I was deployed to the Tulare Local Assistance Center to assist people who had lost not only their properties, but in many cases their paperwork. And that DD Form 214 is a very valuable piece of paperwork. So you need to have it handy or available to you. But by working with the County Veterans Service Office, we were able to get duplicate copies of their DD Form 214. And then also working with a CalVet home loan agent, we were able to get certificate of eligibility so they could go forward with either a VA or CalVet loan. Currently, what the 8 of us do, and I think even our partners at CalTAP, are fielding the calls that go into 1-800 CalVet. And hold on just a moment. And so it doesn't matter if I get a call from Klamath Falls or from San Diego, because I know the state and federal agencies, I'm able to assist them. And if we need to go deeper into their community, I contact their participating link. And then we provide leadership and advocacy. And we provide leadership and advocacy to local communities. I'm sorry, I just had someone come to the door. So by staying in touch with our partners, we make sure they're aware of any benefits, any changes to benefits, but then we also can find if there's any gaps in services and benefits that we can forward that information to headquarters. Next slide, please. So getting connected to your benefits, that's kind of a passion for me because I served in the United States Army from 1975 to 1978. I used my GI Bill, got my degree, and got a VA home loan. And I thought that's pretty much it. And it wasn't until 12 years ago when I started working for the state of California, I realized that I have additional benefits, that I could file for compensation, which leads to more benefits. So I have a service-connected disability. I also didn't know I could still enroll in VA healthcare. So these are the agencies that we work day in and day out with, but that we partner with and build these relationships. So when it comes to employment and training, of course, EDD, they have dedicated staff that work solely with veterans to help them with resume writing, interview skills, or just getting them connected to employers. And they are co-located in the America's Job Centers of California. And if you go into careeronestop.org, you can find out where there is an AJCC and if they have a EDD vet rep there. And they have the tools that you can use, whether it's printers, copiers, fax machines, all at no cost to you. California state benefits, well, that's what CalVet is all about. And every state has different benefits and different eligibilities. But it's the County Veterans Service Office. These are the boots on the ground. They are the administrators of state and federal benefits. So whether it's college tuition fee waiver, getting DMV forms certified so that you can get that veteran on your driver's license, or any of the opportunities with Fish and Game, they're there to assist you with that. Healthcare, once again, VA medical centers and clinics. You may not be able to walk into one, but if you want to enroll in VA healthcare, you can actually go online, or you can just call and ask to speak to eligibility. They're doing a lot of things over the phone. And I know that all of my appointments that I've had in the last 2 years have been via telehealth. So it's very convenient to be a part of your medical history. Next slide, please. So if you remember nothing else, this is my contact information. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions whatsoever. And thank you for your service and have a great day.
Thank you so much, Annette. It's really great to have you in here today and providing all that information for people. Let's talk about the GI Bill and my teammate Michael is available here to go over some great information. Hi, Michael. How you doing today?
How's it going, Sean? Thanks for having me. Cool. My name is Michael Cisneros. I'm a training coordinator with CalTAP as well. What I'm going to do today is just give you kind of like a quick history of the GI Bill, what it has to offer veterans and service members, and quickly touch on some programs that help you extend those benefits if needed. And then after that, we'll have Zeffirino from VRME come through and talk about his program and why and how it helps veterans in general, but then also students if needed too. So let's go ahead and go to the next slide. So this information can be found on our website at calvet.ca.gov. If you go ahead and click on that education pathway. Next slide, you're taken to our modules page. And on the modules page, you'll find information regarding your education benefits under module 2. But on top of that, you'll also find information about selecting a school. And so module number 1 is going to talk to you about what you should be looking for as a veteran when you are looking at the different campuses around California. So whether you're looking at a California community college, a University of California or a UC system, or you're trying to get into the CSU system, that module is going to help you figure out what it is that you're looking for that's going to help you have the best experience while you're in school. And then on top of that, you'll have modules for the that explain the systems here in California. So modules on the California Community College system, the UC system, and the CSU system. Next slide. So you click on any one of those modules, specifically the education benefits module, module number 2. You could find information about the different benefits that are available to you if you are going to school. On top of that, you also find information about the different GI bills. Next slide. So what are your education benefits? Education benefits, it's either you're going to have Chapter 30, Chapter 33, or the Forever GI Bill. That's the Montgomery GI Bill, the post 9/11, or the Forever GI Bill. What they do is they offer 36 months of education benefits to veterans who are looking to get a degree. If you want to do on-the-job training, if you want to get a certificate, there's a list of different goals that students can reach with their education benefits. In certain circumstances, you can actually increase your benefits to 48 months. So this is like taking advantage of the VRE system, which we'll have Zeffirino talk about a little later, or combining Chapter 31 benefits, which are the survivor benefits, to your post 9/11 or your education benefits. So different situations allow you to extend your benefits out to 48 months, but in general, you're given about 36 months of education benefits for your time in service, usually. Next slide. So let's talk a little bit about the GI Bill history. Next slide. So we start off with the Montgomery GI Bill. This was enacted. This was enacted a while ago. I don't know why I don't have the years, but this was the first one that was enacted, provided that 36 months of benefits to the veterans. This is basically where it all started. There was a 10-year expiration date on the GI Bill. You had to use it within 10 years of separating, or else you lost it. You could use it for degrees, certificates, or vocational training. And then there was also a kickback, a buy-up program for those veterans who, if you put in $600 of your own money while you were in service, you got a bigger amount while you were out of service, the monthly amount that was coming to you. So that was the first one. Go ahead, next slide. The next upgrade was the post 9/11 GI Bill. This was in 2013. And so what this said was anybody who served up to 36 months, anybody who served at least 90 days after September, that should have been September 1st, 2001, they are eligible for a certain percentage of your education benefits. And on top of that 90-day service, they also fixed the expiration date. And so instead of 10 years, now you have 15 years for education benefits. And they also included things like the Yellow Ribbon Program, which is a program that helps veterans go to, like if you want to go to a private college, the VRE program steps in to help cover those the remaining costs of that program. And then you can also transfer your benefits to your dependents. Next slide. And in the past, with the Montgomery GI Bill, I'm sorry, they had a 2-year, you had to be serving for 2 years before you can actually take advantage of the Montgomery GI Bill. And so with the post 9/11 GI Bill, then it was at 90 days. And now with the Forever GI Bill, this was enacted in 2013. This ends that 15-year limit on using your GI Bill. So now you can use it whenever you want to go back and finish your education goals. For those Purple Heart recipients, you are actually eligible for the your full GI Bill benefits, regardless of how long you served. So in the past, you did have to serve at least 2 years before taking advantage of your education benefits if you were a Purple Heart recipient. That's not the case anymore. Those individuals who maybe went to a for-profit school and graduated using their GI Bill but couldn't find a job, or the program that they entered into wasn't accredited. For those individuals who use their money at a college like that, there is a way now to get that back so that you can actually use it on a program that will have a better future for you. Next slide. Another thing that they did with the Forever GI Bill was they increased the payments. So now you're serving 90 days. Serving at least 90 days gets you $2,300 per year. So just another way to get more veterans benefits. And then for those individuals who are going for a STEM degree, there's a program that helps extend your education benefits to 48 months. So this is another one of those programs on top of the survivor benefits, on top of the VRE benefits, that can actually also extend your education benefits from 36 to 48 months. And that STEM degree is there for veterans because they understand that when it comes to STEM majors, that doesn't count the remedial courses or the courses that need to be taken to get up to the level that you need for your STEM degree. And so because they understand that it takes a little bit longer, there's programs out there that help you extend your benefits so that you can make it to the end. So for more information about what's offered with the GI Bill, we always recommend veterans to go and speak to call up that GI Bill hotline. We actually call the GI Bill hotline ourselves when we're working with veterans and answering questions about their education benefits. They're pretty helpful. You usually get the answers that you need right away. So any questions about what's offered to you, specifically you, we definitely recommend reaching out to that hotline. Next slide. Additional programs. So on top of, next slide, on top of the STEM program that I mentioned earlier, well, this is a STEM program, sorry. So this is this is a little bit about what I was just talking about. So this offers that up to 46 months for your STEM degree. Those individuals who have an honorable discharge and have completed, I believe it's at least 60 units in their major, in their STEM major, can apply for this program. Priority entitlement goes to those who have 100% entitlement. One thing about this program is you cannot match it with the Yellow Ribbon program, and it's not transferable to dependents. So this is strictly for the veteran. Next slide. And then VRME. So we actually are going to hear about VRME right now. One thing I do want to mention, just so that there's no confusion, is that Veterans Readiness and Employment is not an education program. It's actually an employment program. The only reason why we're talking about it right now is because if you were speaking with the VRME counselor, there may be a chance that you can increase your education benefits from 36 months from 36 to 46 to 48. I'm sorry, and so that you can find work that's suitable to the disability rating that you have. And so we have Zephyrina, who will talk a little bit more about the program, but it's open to any veteran with a disability rate, or any veteran with a disability rating of 10% or higher can speak with the VRME counselor. It helps with education and job placement mostly. But like I mentioned, if you're looking for a job and your VRME counselor sees that, hey, you need more education to get the job that you want that matches with your disability rating, then they can look at increasing those benefits. So yeah, I won't step on his toes too much about the program, and I'll let him explain it better than I can. But we'll go ahead and move on to the next slide. I believe that's the last one. Okay, yeah. And then so this information, like along with any other benefits that we talk about today, can be found in your resource book. I did post a link. That's one of the first links that I posted in the chat for a PDF copy of this book. So if you want to check it out yourself, feel free to download it, open it up on your phone, take a look at what's available to you, read a little bit about the education benefits and a little bit more about VRME if needed. Next slide. All right, so that was just a quick rundown of the GI Bill, what's available to you, how you use it. If you're trying to take advantage of it or you haven't had a chance to take advantage of it yet, we definitely recommend speaking with your Veterans Resource Center on campus if you're already in school, or going to a county veteran service office to get the processes started. That's my information right there. So if you need any, if you have any questions or you need any help, or you want me to direct you to the person you need to speak with, feel free to reach out, or you could give that 1-800 number a call. That's going to ring any one of mine, Sean's, Annette's, or any one of the training coordinators or links, and we could all help out. So thank you for giving me the time to speak about the bill, and I will be here for questions at the end.
Thank you so much, Michael. That was excellent. Next, we're going to have Mr. Zeffirino come in and talk about veterans readiness and employment. Hello, Mr. Zeffirino. How are you doing today?
I am doing well. Thank you for having me. Yes, my name is Zeffirino Murillo. I am with the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program, Veteran Benefits Administration. Just want to share a little bit of information about our program. Next slide, please. Am I able to? No, I guess I can't. Yes, so anyways, a little bit about VRME. We have 56 regional offices throughout the U.S. and U.S. territories, including Guam, Philippines, and Puerto Rico. I work out of the Oakland Regional Office. The Oakland Regional Office is currently serving over 4,600 veterans. We have 38 master's degree level rehabilitation counselors on staff. We have 2 employment coordinators. We have 4 support staff and 4 supervisors. We have offices. Our main office is Oakland Regional Office at the Oakland Federal Building, downtown Oakland. And we have 2 satellite offices, one in Sacramento and one in Fresno. The Oakland, Sacramento, and Fresno satellite offices are all fully staffed. We also have counselors stationed at the Monterey Clinic, and then we have one stationed at the Stockton, San Joaquin County Veteran Service Officers location. And then we have a IDES counselor stationed at Travis Air Force Base. So the intent of the program is very simple, folks, is to assist veterans and service members as they transition into civilian life by providing the services necessary to make that transition as smooth as possible. For at work, we provide services leading to suitable employment. And on campus, we do have, again, some counselors stationed around the nation at certain colleges and universities that will assist and provide the support services to veterans and dependents as they go through the education and training process. For at home, we do have veterans that are not able to pursue employment, and we provide the services needed in order to make these individuals as independently as possible, both at home and in the community. Next slide. So the eligibility criteria to apply for VRME is very simple, folks. For veterans, you must have an honorable or other than dishonorable discharge to apply for the benefit. You must have a VA service-connected disability rating of 10% with or more, or a memorandum rating of 20% or more. You must apply for the VRE benefit to be considered. And for that you use Form 28 to 1900. And I'll talk a little bit about that further down the line. For active duty service members, the expectation that you will depart military with an honorable discharge must be present. You must obtain a memorandum rating of 20% or more and obtain a proposed disability evaluation rating. And for service members who are departing or waiting discharge due to a medical condition, injury, a disability that occurred in the line of duty, you may automatically be entitled to the VRE benefit under the NDAA of 2008. You must also apply for the VRE benefit to be considered using Form 28-1900. Next slide. So the VRE benefit does provide up to 48 months of entitlement. The benefit must be used within 12 years from the date of separation or from the date, the initial date that this VA disability rating was received. There is an exception to that rule for veterans who have been determined to have a serious employment handicap. Also, effective January 5th of 2021, the 12-year eligibility period does not apply to veterans and service members who were discharged or released after January 1st of 2013. Next slide. This is basically the roadmap that we follow, folks. The initial process is the application. Once we receive the application, we have a team that reviews the application, make sure that the qualifications are met. Once the qualifications are met, we move on to the entitlement decision, where veterans meet with a counselor and do a thorough assessment of their skills, interest, abilities, etc. At this juncture is where the counselor makes a disability determination. Once you are declared feasible for employment, you move on to the evaluation and planning process. There, you will get a little bit more in depth with research and creating a plan for your specific goals. Also, one of the 5 tracks will be selected during the planning process: the reemployment, rapid access to employment, self-employment, employment through long-term services, and of course, the independent living track as well. Once you've completed your training and going through the initial plan, you will also receive 18 months or up to 18 months of employment services. That includes employment placement, interviewing skills development, job search skills training, resume creation, cover letter writing, etc. Once you're employed, we follow you for up to 60 days to make sure that you adjust well to your new position, and then we go ahead and close your file. Next slide, please. So the 5 tracks, I just want to discuss the 5 tracks in a little bit more detail. The 5 tracks are basically as follows. The number 1, the reemployment, is basically reserved for individuals separating from active duty, National Guards, or Reserve. And the intent is to assist in helping you get the position that you held prior to being activated. Rapid access to employment is to obtain employment as quickly as possible. This particular track is reserved for veterans who have expressed an interest in going back to work as quickly as possible, as soon as or right after separation. They have the marketable skills, the right skills to engage in employment. So we do plan that as well. Self-employment is for claimants who have the necessary skills to start a business. It's also designed for individuals whose disabilities are so significant that a traditional work setting would not be appropriate. Perhaps the work accommodations are too significant, that it's not realistic to find a place of employment. So the veteran starts their own business. It's also the most difficult track, folks. It's one of the tracks I think that we least leverage because of the difficulty involved. Employment through long-term services. This is the majority of where the majority of the plans are developed. Veterans come to our program. We identify that in order for them to find employment, perhaps some training is necessary. It could be a vocational college, or it could be a university or a regular college, just depending on your specific interests and desires, and also the labor market. The independent living service, as I noted earlier, this is reserved for veterans who cannot pursue a career at this time, and we provide the assistance necessary to assist them in maximizing their day-to-day living, both at home and in the community. Next slide, please. So we're often asked if the GI Bill is the same as the VRME? And the answer is no, folks. The GI Bill, as Michael indicated earlier, it's an education program. Our VRME program is an employment program. Okay, a huge difference. We're focused on employment and getting the veteran to work. Obviously, sometimes it requires us to support a training plan in order to meet that goal, but our primary goal is employment. The 4 of the 5 tracks are geared towards employment, and the E in VRME basically stands for our mission, employment. The other question that we're often asked is, which program should I use first? And folks, this is where you want to really pay attention, okay? And here's why. My recommendation, and we recommend that you leverage VRME first. By doing that, you basically save or retain your post 9/11 GI Bill, okay? However, if you use your post 9/11 GI Bill and then you come to VRME, VRME will subtract whatever number of months or time that you used under the GI Bill, that will be deducted from the 48 months. So it's beneficial to use the VRME first, because it could potentially give you up to 7 years of benefits. We also administer benefits for Chapter 18 and Chapter 35. The Chapter 18 is we provide service to eligible dependents born with spina bifida or other congenital disabilities, with the ultimate goal of employment. VRE provides training and other rehabilitative services that may be needed. Under the Chapter 35, we provide benefits to dependents, educational assistance. Education is provided to eligible dependents of veterans who have either died or have been involuntarily detained or have been determined to have a permanent and total service-connected disability and are not able to go to work. Next slide, please. So the service that you will receive, you may receive under the VRME benefit are as follows. You could be work readiness preparation, resume development, and job seeking skills, job accommodations, job placement assistance, as I mentioned earlier, job search skills training, and evaluation of your abilities, aptitudes, and interests, career counseling, and rehab planning. Next slide, please. So the focus here is employment, and we do provide referrals to other employment resources, such as the Veterans Employment Centers throughout the U.S., online tools that connect both veterans and employers. We provide that. We have access for veterans to log in through VA.gov, and we also coordinate with Employment Development Department and the Department of Labor, the DevOps, for assistance. Once we make that coordination, for employment assistance, the Disabled Veterans Outreach Program Specialist will, and the local Veterans Employment Representative will meet with veterans and assist them in the employment process as well. Next slide, please. I think I covered that. Next slide. Okay, so for Chapter 36, folks, if you are under the Chapter 36 program, you can also get assistance from our rehab counselors. Same with the Vet Success on Campus. We have certain counselors throughout the US in certain colleges and universities that can provide veteran service members and students and eligible dependents help in getting through the educational process. The Integrated Disability Evaluation System, IDIS, VRE assists veterans with service members that are wounded or ill or injured. Next slide, please. For Chapter 36, pretty much anybody can, again, I think I mentioned that earlier, but I wanted to clarify this. Who may apply? Anybody who is currently receiving any type of education benefits are eligible to apply for Chapter 36 assistance. And it's assistance that we provide veterans and service members is not as in-depth as the VRME participants get, but they do get some guidance as far as again, some of the service that we mentioned earlier, including the evaluation, skills assessments, etc. Next slide, please. So how do I apply for VRME services? Best way to do it, folks, is online. You go to va.gov and you just click down to VRME, Veteran Employment, Veteran Readiness and Employment, and it will give you a link to an application, the VA Form 201900. We always encourage you to submit your application online. Alternatively, you can mail it to us. If you mail it to the PO Box in Janesville, it will automatically get routed to the correct regional office based on your address that you provide us. And if you have any questions, I think this is the last slide. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. Before I open it up for questions, I do want to say a couple of things. The key points that I'm really trying to make here, folks, is do not disqualify yourselves. Okay. Oftentimes we hear a veteran say, well, I only have a 10% service disability rating, but I don't think I'm SEH, service employment handicap. Okay. Well, you won't know if you have a serious employment handicap until you meet with a rehab counselor. The rehab counselor is the one that makes that assessment. So I always encourage people to apply, let us review your application, and let us tell you whether or not you meet the criteria or not. We're actually trying to meet people to help people meet the criteria as opposed to the alternative. Again, I mentioned the use of the VRME benefit. I encourage you to use a VRME benefit prior to Chapter 33. The use of Chapter 30, the use of the VRME benefit preserves your GI Bill, folks. Okay, so keep that in mind. You could potentially end up with 7 years of benefits. If you happen to use your GI Bill first, prior to VRME, leave 1 day remaining of your GI Bill left. That will allow us to capitalize on the VAH rate when you come to VRME. And finally, follow through with your application and documentation. Oftentimes, our counselors have 10 days to make an entitlement decision. And if they don't have the entire packet completed, what you will receive is a not entitled letter from us. Okay. And oftentimes, again, that's confusing because you'll feel like you're not entitled to the program. you were declared not entitled because we didn't have the entire packet. So keep in mind that if we're asking for information, additional information, whatever it may be, make sure that you communicate with your counselor and you provide that information timely. And now I can open up for questions.
Thank you so much, Zeffirino.
Welcome.
Let's take a look at some of the questions that we have here. Question for Zeffirino. Can you talk more about the self-employment track and why it is the most difficult for veterans? Thank you.
Yes, the self-employment track, it's generally most difficult because the intent of the self-employment track really was for veterans whose disabilities were so severe that they cannot get jobs in a regular traditional work environment. And what happens is that anybody who's ever had a business understands that self-employment is not just part-time work. It's more work than it would be if you went to a regular job. And of course, it does have its variations depending on what type of job you get into. But that's one of the things that we run into is veterans may start their business, but again, because of their disabilities, they're not able to function on a regular basis or keep that business open, 40 hours a week. Hope that answers your question. And of course, there are a lot of other nuances that go along with that. But that's one of the reasons that I've seen in the past.
Thank you. Another question came in. I'm currently using my post 9/11 GI Bill, which will expire in 1 year. I'm awaiting VA decision on initial disability claim, not currently rated. Could I still apply for VRME?
You have to have the eligibility rating.
I'm sorry, Zeffirino, before you answer that question, Sean, do you think you can move it to the next slide so that they could see our email addresses just in case they need to reach out to it for any of these questions? There you go.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. And then Zeffirino, I apologize for cutting you off. But if you wanted to maybe, I don't know if you finished answering that question that Sean just answered, or if you wanted to continue answering, I apologize though.
Ask me the question again and I'll tell you if I finished answering. Sorry.
The question was about the post 9/11 GI Bill, which the person saying it's going to expire in 1 year. They're waiting a VA decision on initial disability claim. Could they still apply for VRME?
No, you actually have to wait for the VA disability claim notification. Remember, this is for veterans who have a disability. So if you haven't been rated yet, you wouldn't meet criteria for the program yet. But definitely, this is a good example of someone who will want to leave at least 1 day of your post 9/11 GI Bill for this particular reason, is that you may be declared with a disability after you've departed the military. So if you leave just 1 day, it will allow us to give you a stipend at the BAH rate should you enter VRME.
Thank you. Another question coming in. I'm in SD, San Diego County, and wish to use my GI Bill, but not for a degree program. I want to take certification license programs in finance. Who or where do I go to enroll in this type of program? College or education center?
I could help with that. So yeah, those kind of programs, you can find them definitely. The community colleges offer a ton of certificate license programs, vocational work. If you know of like a private company that's offering those certificates, you may want to call up the GI Bill hotline just to verify that your benefits do work with that company. But definitely, if you were to go to an accredited community college who offers a certificate or license that you're looking for, you would definitely be able to use your benefits there.
Thank you, Michael. Actually, I've got another GI Bill question for you, Michael. If you have the Montgomery GI Bill, can you use the post 9/11 instead?
So you would have to elect one or the other. So if you had the GI Bill, you would have to have already elected the post 9/11. You can't use both. And I believe if you already started using one, I don't believe that you would be able to use the other one. You have to choose one or the other.
All right, and then I have one more question for Zeffirino. For VRE, are there stem extensions as well?
That is a good question. I will have to look into that and find out. I don't have an answer.
Your contact information is on this slide, and to follow up the person, we'll make sure that they have the opportunity to get all this information and copy down your contact information as well. Can you post the GI Bill contact phone number again? Is that something that we can that you already put in chat, Michael, or is that something that
I'm going to go ahead and put it in right now on the chat.
all right?
So you should be able to get it. And one thing about the chat too, I wanted to just explain. I apologize. I mentioned earlier that I was putting resources in the chat, or Sean may have mentioned it. I was putting resources in the chat, but they were going to the panelists. So I did go back and I try to add them for everyone to see. So if there's anything that we talked about earlier today and you want more information on, just let me know and I could put a link in there. But there should be information about some of the websites that we talked about. You'll see a copy of the slide deck, a copy of the link map, and a copy of the PDF version of the resource book. So they all should be in there now.
Thank you, Michael. And I'd also like to take a moment to make sure everyone has the opportunity to participate in the post-webinar survey. There's going to be an email about this sent to you as well, but we really do appreciate if you can take that extra moment to evaluate us and let us know what direction you'd like us to drive these webinars into. Your survey results we take absolutely with the utmost importance, because we want to make sure that we're engineering these webinars to meet the needs of you as an individual, and for veterans, for active duty service members, and for family members throughout California. Some upcoming webinars that you might find a little interesting for the month of March: we've got managing unhelpful thoughts to improve mental health. You got handling stresses with resiliency, suicide prevention through managing challenges. Again, here's our contact information: California Department of Veteran Affairs, our 1-800 number, and our email address. I'll go back to the contact page here and leave our contact information up a little bit longer for those of you who want to take a quick snapshot with your phone. And we had one more question come in. Let me see. Question from Mr. Zeffirino. Does the VRE program qualify for the EDD California training benefits?
Ask me the question one more time.
Absolutely. Does the VRME program qualify for the EDD California training benefits?
I don't know what that is. I know that the VRME will cover all the expenses. I'm not familiar with the EDD training benefit.
Thank you. I'm going to give a couple more seconds for any more other questions to come in as we approach the 1 hour mark. I just want to thank everybody for participating in our webinar today. And I would like to take an extra moment to thank Annette and Zeffirino and my counterpart, Michael, for coming in and presenting this information to everyone. It really does mean a lot, your service and your dedication. We just want to make sure that you know that all of us from the Department of Veterans Affairs and from the VA and from the different resources, we're all here to assist you with whatever you may need, and our contact information is up there. And we did get one more question. Actually, it's a statement, and it was, "I'll be going back to school this year, and this has been an eye-opener." So it's a thank you to all the participants today. So again, I just want to thank everyone.
check out some of our past videos about education benefits and some of the resources that were available to those that we made available to veterans who are dealing with, especially with working back from home and distance learning.
A lot of those are available on our website, as well as you can go to the CalVet YouTube channel and see the videos there as well.
Thanks everyone for allowing us to come in and introduce the program to you. Feel free to reach out to me. I also included my contact information in the chat. I see it, that's on the screen as well. So any questions, concerns, feel free to reach out to me. More than happy to address any of your questions or concerns.
It's 11 o'clock and we'll be ending the webinar. Thank you everyone for participating, and we hope that you have a great afternoon.